Hello and welcome back to the Limit of Adhesion's Prototype League. My name is Mark and joining me in the commentary booth is Steve. Steve, how you doing?
I'm great, thanks Mark. It's fantastic to be here over in Japan and this beautiful circuit of Suzuka.
Indeed, we are here for the Championship Showdown. So, LMP2, we've got Maxwell versus Dlugokecki for the overall LMP2 Championship. That's Maxwell. He's got about 20 points ahead of Dlugokecki, so with 50 for a win in each round, it's still all to play for. So we've got
Very much.
2 rounds, well, 1 round, 2 races to go, should we say. So we've got this one here at Suzuka and then a reverse grid race at Suzuka. In the LMP3, however, Molarin has already done enough to secure the championship ahead of Russell Bright. So we've still got a bit of a fight on for second place, but that championship is secured for Molarin.
Yeah, it's a shame it's not gone down to the wire for this one, but obviously Ture's been so strong in this one and just taking the lead. It'd be interesting to see if the next 3 how they can battle for the minor places. And obviously championship standings there for LMP2. Not going through the permutations, but obviously there is still plenty of points to play for. So the LMP2 and LMP3 championships for the teams could swings and roundabouts that could be all over the place when we get to the end.
So as we see championship standings for the teams for both LMP2 and LMP3, it's still possible, but they look very much set in stone. As we see in the background, drivers are practicing. It's such a tricky but challenging circuit, Suzuka.
And it looks as though the sun's going down as well, so we're going to see some late evening driving.
We are indeed, with Alex Murphy in pole position. Stephen Maxwell, his teammate in the USF, but not teammate in the Prototype Challenge. Maxwell is in second. And we've got Dlugokecki in third. So yeah, our 2 main title rivals quite far up the front. We look in the LMP3, we've got Ture Molarin, Tome, Russell Bright, the top 3 there. We've got 16 cars on the grid. Waiting for them all to grid up and get ready to go. 10 LMP2 and only 6 LMP3 this time. Got a pit lane start for Kuzmarek. Drivers are underway and they will sit behind the safety car, wait for the safety car to peel into the pits just after this chicane. Not the first Latifi chicane, the second chicane. Yeah, so safety car peels into the pits. Alex Murphy will decide when to go, and he has already gone. So the green flag will fly any moment. Okay, and we are racing at Suzuka. As we see, Dlugokecki got the jump on Maxwell into Spoon Corner. Yes, we are doing that again.
Welcome to the land of spoon corners.
Parker holds position there in 7th as they go through the spoon curves. Dlugokecki closing in on Murphy, having already gotten past Maxwell off the start.
It's nice to see a big grid here at Suzuka as well. There's been a couple of races just lately where it's been a smaller grid, and obviously the LMP3s aren't going to get their own way with the reverse grids at the moment.
Exactly, yeah. As we see, everyone's made it fairly safely through the first few spoon curves. Oh, the commentator's curse if ever I saw one. There's Ture spinning round. Mark Brown has lost his front wing at spoon curve. Oh, that was Meesters without a front wing and Pepper without a front wing. Sorry, Meesters without a rear wing and Pepper without a front wing.
It looks as though the two camels have had a bit of contact and one's hit the rear end of the other.
Oh dear, we had some camel on camel action.
I think that could well be, yeah. I think
that's usually reserved for our X-rated limit of adhesion 2.
Yeah, I think possibly Steve Pepper was trying to avoid an incident where Richard maybe come to a halt, and unfortunately he's hit the back end of him.
So crucially, Dlugokecki is in the pits. So there was no obvious incident on that lap, so I think that must be a penalty that has not been served from a previous round. Meanwhile, Molarin sets the fastest lap in the LMP3 class. And that's actually quite crucial for Dlugokecki because he's fighting Maxwell for the championship.
He is, yes, and obviously Meesters as well with the championship for LMP3s. He'll now be dropping away in that challenge for the minor places in LMP3. Obviously, Russell Bright certainly taking the lead in that one there and trying to cement his second place.
As I say that, it's just popped into my mind. Dlugokecki got a penalty. It was a drive-through penalty for an incident on lap 1 at the last race in Watkins Glen.
That would explain it then.
So Ture Molarin leads for the LMP3 class. Russell Bright just behind. So Dlugokecki is out of the pits and is closing in on this pair here. So he is towards the back of the field. Is, however, ahead of Kuzmarek. Lara in there as we watch him come through spoon curve, down the spoon straight, head down towards spoon 30R as we see a replay of what happened on the first lap. Ture lost it on his own. Brown went into him and stopped. Meesters went into Brown and Pepper went into the back of Meesters.
Carnage everywhere.
It was carnage. So there is Dlugokecki now getting past the last LMP3. No, he doesn't get past the last LMP3. He backs out of that. Backs out of it very early. Doesn't want to get any more penalties. He should get past down the spoon straight though. There we see Simon Geimer. He's up a good few positions actually. He's up 3 positions, having started 8th. Yeah, I am quite fond of his livery. That's a very nice paint job there.
It does look good, doesn't it?
Yeah. You see, there is Mark Brown behind Ture, who's still got no front wing.
Yeah, we've seen this in previous races, haven't we, where the front end's been missing and there's no meatball, so keep going. I think, was it Dom Parker? With no front
Dom,
end?
yeah.
Yeah.
So we see cars coming through spoon curve. Head down to spoon 30R. Yeah, I am going to do this all race.
That's a big spoon.
That is a big spoon. But who's the little spoon? Oh, I know some people are saying that the spoon jokes have gotten old, but they really haven't, as we see Ture Molarin off and into the gravel at spoon curve.
That was a slippery spoon.
It was a slippery spoon. So that promotes Bright up to the lead. So Bright's now got a 6.5 second lead. So with 6 laps left, that is very much advantage Bright.
Yeah, we wanted to take full points from this one too. Like I say, cement his second place in the championship, right behind Ture Molarin.
Indeed, Bright does currently occupy that runner-up spot, but it is certainly not set in stone, so he'll be hoping that a decent result will manage to do that. And Tomei's managed to do it 1 minute 55, which is a purple lap, so that's the fastest lap.
Yeah, a great lap
Which,
there.
with no front wing, that's incredible. As we see, Greening now in third place, ahead of Messenger. He's just slipping back slightly from the two Americans out the front. Sorry, Canadians. Well, to be fair, Murphy is Canadian, Maxwell is American. I'm not sure if that's a little mistake in the graphic or just a friendly joke there for Murphy, who I'm sure he absolutely loves it when you call him American. Right, and see. Meanwhile, Greening and Messenger in third and fourth, the two Risky Racing teammates, running a nose to tail. Yeah, they were both a couple of seconds off of Maxwell's time in that lap.
At least we're not going to see any changes in weather on this one, Mark. It's obviously rain has come to iRacing at last, but unfortunately for the drivers in this one, the LMP3 at the moment isn't activated with rain. So fingers crossed it will come and we'll see some exciting racing.
So I think I speak for everyone in iRacing when I say about damn time.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it speaks volumes that when iRacing first announced rain, neither of us were doing commentary, Steve.
I would think so, yeah. It's taken a hell of a long time to arrive, and now it is here. It looks absolutely fantastic.
That's the thing, they have done an incredible job. It
it adds such a different dimension to the racing as well. Brings big tactics in there.
And we will see rain in future Limit of Adhesion sessions. So this will be the last prototype round, but we will be moving to an endurance round, which has not the same cars, but we've got the GTPs and the GT3s. We're doing longer endurance races. We see two camels fighting it out in the desert. Not in the desert, in Japan. And Murphy goes wide, and does that hand the lead to Maxwell? It does indeed. That's a pass for the lead and a pass for fifth in LMP3. All in the space of a couple of seconds. Yeah, so as I was saying, we're starting the Endurance League next alongside our Prime and Sprint Championships. Endurance will have rain, so if that's the sort of thing that you like the sound of, then check out our Discord links. As we see, oh, that's a big crash for Tomei.
Huge accident. I don't think he's going to get that out with a bit of tea cut.
Definitely not. He tows immediately. Yeah. And yeah, thankfully the virtual driver signalling that he is okay. We'll see what happened. No front wing, of course, on Tomei's car.
Oh, and straight on.
That's a very weird crash.
I'm not sure. Generally speaking, if it's a disconnect with a wheel or something, it tends to go left, but that went straight on. That's a very odd one.
It does, yeah. So no idea what happened there.
Maybe he's had his eyes closed.
Maybe, yeah. I mean, to be honest, what it could have been, the corners here are all so similar. I mean, they're all called spoons, so he might have just forgotten which corner he was at. It could have thought that he was a spoon, but actually he was at spoon.
Yeah, big spoon and little spoon.
So meanwhile, the battle at the front. These two have swapped positions, but the fight is very much still on. Murphy now just 0.6 of a second behind Maxwell. See, Murphy Still in the slipstream, he will be closing in and closes in quite a lot under brakes. He'll want to get a good exit out of the spoon chicane and gets a little kick of oversteer, just gets a little bit unsteady, a little squirrely, and he sees Maxwell start to close that gap. A little bit of weaving, not quite sure what that's about.
Maybe the temperature of the track is slightly low, so he's trying to get a bit of temperature in those front wheels and front tyres.
Possibly, but it's very rare to see drivers still having to weave for tyre temperature 7 laps into the race. As we see Ture Molarin getting past Pavel Kuzmarek, they're in different classes, so not quite sure what's happened to Kuzmarek.
Looking further down the... Sorry, my apologies, Mark. Looking further down the results there, the standings, Dawid Dlugokecki is sitting in what would turn into second race pole.
Indeed, you are correct. As we see Maxwell getting a little wide, putting 2 wheels into the grass, into the gravel even at Spoon Curve. Murphy still right on his tail. As they head down towards Spoon Corner, Maxwell still unable to break that sort of half a second, 6/10 of a second gap back to Murphy. The 2 camels, Pepper and Meesters, 4th and 5th in LMP3.
No, a camel on 2 wheels then.
Was a camel on 2 wheels. A wonderful blue livery. We'll see a few extra camels on the grid next year. What's the collective noun for a camel? A flock of camels?
I couldn't even tell you. I'll have to look that up.
Yes. And Maxwell still just 6/10 ahead of Murphy. Unable to extend that gap out further. Murphy sticking with his North American compatriot.
Well, a group of camels is called a caravan or a flock.
A caravan?
A caravan of camels.
I like that, a caravan of camels, although I certainly don't want a bunch of camels to turn up in my caravan. It would quite affect my summer holiday.
Very true. You can't have too many camels turn up in your caravan at Bognor Regis, can you?
Meanwhile, we've had a few scruffy corners there for Murphy, obviously not liking the spoon that much. And that gap has opened up to about a second. Murphy just clinging onto the slipstream for all can now. As they come through Spoon Curve, Maxwell will get the hammer down. And yet, that gap's still hovering around 9/10, just about enough.
Yeah,
Meanwhile, Green's getting ever closer.
He is.
And Messenger not too far behind now as well.
Dlugokecki still holding station in 8th place there. He's now what, 4.5 seconds, 3.5 seconds behind, 4.5 seconds behind Gavin Kelly, and nicely 8 seconds or thereabouts in front of James Renwick. So he's holding station, just ready for that reverse grid pole.
And with 2 laps to go, I think it's going to be very unlikely that we see any movement towards the rear end of that field. The only fight that I can see that might still get a little bit spicy is this one for the lead. Murphy clawed back a couple of tenths as they brake hard for the 2 spoons. Murphy there running a little bit wide as he tries to get the traction down as soon as he possibly can. Meanwhile, the LMP3s might actually play a role in this. In fact, yeah, there is Meesters just a second up the road. So when will Maxwell be able to get through the traffic? Mises there sticking to the outside line, being an absolute gentleman, not getting involved in this fight. But I think that did just distract Murphy slightly, as Murphy lost a few turns and he's now crucially out of that slipstream range. So we see the little graphic in the bottom right hand corner just showing the gap. And Maxwell, he's been faster every lap for quite a few laps now. Well, Maxwell did have to yield so that he didn't run into the back of Pepper there, and that allowed Murphy to close right the way back up. So as we get the white flag, that's Maxwell braking, because yeah, that was the checkered flag, not the white flag.
That was a checkered.
Apologies, I don't know what to say. So, congratulations to Stephen Maxwell for the race win. Murphy in second, Greening rounding out the podium.
Yeah, all the way down there.
Dlugokecki on.
Mate, yeah.
Steve.
It's all these spoons. It confused me. I was just saying, we were Dlugokecki getting the reverse pole. P3's there. Russell Bright taking the win. Ture Molarin second, and Mark Brown. Steve Pepper beating his teammate Rich Misters, and then we've got Zhao Toma bringing up the rear with the wooden spoon.
So that was round one. So coming up next, we have the reverse grid round 2. And that will be the final race of this prototype season. So yeah, tune in if you want to see how the championship is decided, as we see there, confirmation that championship standings, Maxwell with a healthy lead over Dlugokecki, but it's not confirmed yet. So thank you very much for watching race 1. My name's been Mark, and joining me has been Steve.
Yeah, it's been a pleasure as ever, Mark, and looking forward to race 2 coming up very, very shortly.
Bye.
Bye for now.